Pamela Geller is an outspoken activist against Islamic terrorism. Today, she spoke before a packed crowd after a separate appearance in Great Neck had been canceled. Tonight, there are allegations that a Nassau County leader used his title to silence her. We've got team coverage on this story this evening, beginning with News 12 Long Island's Sean Bergen.
And anyone that speaks to this issue is demonized, marginalized, smeared, and rendered radioactive.
That issue is Islamic terrorism. And outspoken critic Pamela Geller pulled no punches when she spoke in front of a capacity crowd at Jihad of Great Neck this morning. The political activist has drawn fire in the past for her opposition to the Ground Zero Mosque in Lower Manhattan. More recently, she caused an uproar after posting these ads in the New York City subway supporting Israel while condemning the savagery of global jihadism. Her critics say she makes no distinction between peaceful Muslims and terrorists. She answered those critics before her address.
Clearly, peaceful Muslims would stand with us and oppose the jihad and oppose the Sharia. For anyone to imply that all Muslims support jihad is ridiculous.
In response, the spokesman for the Muslim Center of Long Island issued a statement that read in part, quote, "It is a sad day for Long Island. We have been having an interfaith dialogue which helps all of us. Ms. Geller is not an expert on Islam. We would not allow an extremist Muslim to speak at a mosque." Pamela Geller was originally scheduled to speak here at the Great Neck Synagogue, but that event was canceled at the last minute after members of another synagogue and a Westbury mosque threatened to stage a march protesting Geller's appearance. Jeff Weisenfield is a member of the Great Neck Synagogue that canceled Geller's appearance, he says, over security concerns. He says good Muslims need to find the courage to be more outspoken against the scourge of Islamic terrorism.
The sad fact in our country, in our world today, is while most Muslims are not terrorists, most terrorists are Muslims.
In Great Neck, Sean Bergen, News 12 Long Island.
Now, tonight there is fallout over this alleged attempt to keep Geller from speaking on the island. Today in Mineola, several of her supporters rallied in front of the Nassau County Commissioner's office. Christina Renault is in the newsroom. She's explaining why. She continues our team coverage on this story. Good afternoon, Christina.
Judy, Pamela Geller's supporters gathered in front of a Nassau County office building with some pretty serious allegations. They're saying a county commissioner abused his power and organized a campaign to silence the activist. Dozens of people gathered in Mineola in support of Pamela Geller. They say there was a campaign to stop Geller from speaking in public. They say that violated her right to free speech.
This is not the only time this has happened. This has happened many times. As a matter of fact, any time any of us who are in this field and fighting against this are invited to speak in a public venue, the same campaign happens.
The campaign to stop Geller's speech at Shabbat of Great Neck was organized, she says, by Habib Ahmed, a commissioner on the Nassau County Commission on Human Rights. Geller says emails from Ahmed to faith leaders like this one posted on her website prove it. The subject, Pam Geller, to speak in Great Neck, reads in part, "We need to stop her from coming to Great Neck. She is the personification of an Islamophobe."
He used his public office to crush free speech, and there is absolutely no way, it's unconscionable, that he'd be allowed to continue to stay in that position.
The original invitation to speak at a Great Neck synagogue was rescinded, but another synagogue in that same community hosted Geller this morning. Some say her speeches are anti-Islam, but supporters like Richard Allen say that's not the case, and Geller simply speaks the truth.
I didn't hear one word of hate speech whatsoever. This is reality. There are people who are dead, families that are grieving, and to say that this is a hate speech is outrageous.
And Nassau Human Rights Commissioner Habib Ahmed released a statement Friday saying in part, "My thoughts and opinions regarding the visit of Pamela Geller to Nassau County reflect my personal opinion, not that of Nassau County or the Human Rights Commission, and not that of the Islamic Center of Long Island. The use of my designations in my emails is for identification purposes only. I regret if it was taken in any other way." Judy?
All right. Thank you very much, Christina. We will continue to follow that story. In other news tonight, a judge has ordered